What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Professor MIMS, aka Professor Make It Make Sense. And today I'm bringing you an entertainment story about actor Terrence Howard, who says that Pdiddy made unwarranted sexual advances at him. But before we start getting into the content, I want you guys to please like and subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you this fantastic entertainment news. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So actor Terrence Howard has publicly accused Sean Diddy Combs of making unwanted sexual advances during a series of meetings that they were having when Diddy asked Terrence Howard if he could be his acting coach. So there was a recent interview on the PBD Podcast where Terrence Howard recounted the time that he was invited multiple times under the pretense of seeking acting lessons to give to Puff Daddy. But I can show you better than I can tell you. I have the audio here from the PBD Podcast where Howard makes these allegations. So let's go ahead and take a listen to it, and we'll talk about it towards the end.
Get to where he was at. There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. Well, when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. They shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card no matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. The women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Hey, did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, You know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing. And I've lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
So basically, my take on that clip, before I even dive into it, just to be clear, I hope that anyone who is of the LGBT community, if your sexual preference is homosexuality, that you weren't offended by what Terrence Howard said. It's not about the fact that the acts or what Diddy was trying to do was homosexual. It was the manner he went about it. He tried to put it on as a facade of him wanting to work with him artistically through music and acting, but he was really trying to basically lower his guard and not really put his real intentions out there. And for heterosexual men, it crosses a big boundary, because again, it's not being offended that you haven't someone who's homosexual or someone who participates in those acts interested in you. It's the fact that you know that I am heterosexual, but yet you're still trying to see how much you can get away with without being very, very intentional about what you want to do. And we usually call those men down low men. So just to recap what Terrence Howard had to say, just so we can make it make sense, is he basically, overall, he was saying, if you're in the entertainment industry, do not sell your soul by doing anything you are not comfortable with or anything that you're against or that you're not about. So in this particular example, it was the homosexual advances, but that's just one layer of it, because obviously Terrence Howard is not about that, and Diddy's victims seem to be the same way. They weren't about that, but they did it anyway to try to push their career forward, and now they can't live with themselves. And they, like he said, they need therapy and they're using drugs to kind of cope. So if you can avoid that, keep your integrity, stay firm on what you believe in. Comment below, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, stay blessed. I'll see you in the next video.